Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my videos. So I've been wanting to do this for a while. I wanted to go through a list of all the cars I've had in the past. So I started to put together a list and I got pictures of all the cars. So I kind of wanted to go through them and show you. So I have been driving since I was 16 years old, got my license. So 21 years of driving, and I've had probably about 30 to 35 cars. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but I know there's people that are far worse out there than I am. But I have had a lot of cars and I've gone through them, and I just thought it would be fun to kind of go through at least all the cars that I could remember and what I have had. So obviously the first car that I'm starting with, that hopefully you can see this pretty good, is a Saturn SE2. So this was kind of the first car that I started driving. Really like this car back in the day. You know, all the side panels, everything was made out of like plastic. I mean, you could throw balls at it, hit it with golf carts and golf clubs and whatever, and I mean, it would just, all the dents would just pop right out. It was kind of neat. Of course, Saturn went out of business. They don't make cars anymore, but every once in a while you'll still see them driving around, and that's the Saturn SE2. I've actually had two of these in the past. So next car that I had was a old Honda Civic hatchback. You know, not a bad little car. Although this car I actually totaled. I was driving to high school, and on my way to school one morning, I was coming up a hill. It was a little raining out, so the ground was slippery, and there was a car that was at the top of the hill that was going to make a left turn down a road, and by the time I got to the top of the hill and tried to hit my brakes, car slid and smashed the entire car, completely totaled it. Then there's the other Saturn. I had another Saturn SE2, a gold one. Then I bought an SUV. So this was the first SUV I had. It was a CRV, white one. It's really nice, really like that car. Then I moved into a truck. I had a Ford Ranger. And then I bought a BMW. First BMW I had, really liked the car. It was so nice, so comfortable. It drove just absolutely amazing. I am a big fan of BMWs and the way they drive and the way they feel. So I also had a Ford Explorer. So I have only one picture of a Ford Explorer on here, but I've probably owned about 4 of these exact style and model, just various years and various times in my life. Actually, I had one of those too that I had bought at a very good price, and it got rear-ended, so the whole back end was smashed in, the whole tailgate, the lights and the bumper was all smashed in. And the frame bent just a little bit. But because the frame was bent, when the insurance company assessed it, they had to total the car. So when they totaled the car, they actually gave me the full, I guess, market price value or whatever it was for the vehicle at the time, and I actually made money on the car. I think I bought the car for somewhere around $4 grand, and when it totaled, it came out to like $4,500. So I made 500 bucks there, and then I actually sold the vehicle as is for $1,000. And then that guy who bought it from me, he went to a junkyard and got some, you know, the parts and stuff and redid the back end, and was able to drive it for another few years. So he got some life out of it, and I made 1,500 bucks on the car. It's probably the most I've ever made on a vehicle. I had another Honda Civic. This was a little guy. Like this car, I like that old body style. It was a really fun car. This is the car that I took when I went to film school down in Florida. Of course, I had tinted windows on my car and all that. It was a really slick looking car. Then I moved into the Mustang. So this was my 2013 Mustang that I had, and of course I did some modifications to it. It had an exhaust and a cold air intake and some stuff like that. Really fun car. Had a great time driving that. Then I bought another BMW. This is my blue BMW. Like this body style as well. Again, just great comfort, great ride. Really love that car. Had a Honda Accord. I had a Toyota Camry, and you'll kind of see a I guess, a reoccurrence of some of these cars. So here's another BMW that I had. This was probably one of my favorite BMWs, aside from the one that I have right now. But this was a 328i and had really nice wheels, really nice coupe. Just a fantastic car. It looked great. I miss those wheels. I really like those wheels on that car. Then I had a Ford Escape. This was actually a 2013 Ford Escape. First year it came out. So this car, I actually had to file lemon law on. It's the first time I've ever had any major issues with a vehicle. And I've had a bunch of vehicles, obviously, prior to this, and never really had anything too major other than accidents and, you know, that type of stuff. But this car actually had so many issues. It was in the shop for more than 30 days or so within the first, like, month and a half that I had it. So I probably only got to drive it, like, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 days, and then it was in the shop. And I had a loaner literally for almost a month or so after that. So under lemon law in Pennsylvania, I was able to file against Ford for the problems. They ended up fixing the problems, and I still drove the vehicle probably for the next year and a half or so before I got rid of it. But I did file lemon law and made a little bit of money on that. Actually, I gotta take it back because this is probably the car that I made the most money on. I think when I filed lemon law, I ended up getting something like $7 grand or something in compensation for that. So and then I had a Toyota Solara. This was my sister-in-law's car. She traded it into the dealership and bought a new car. And then when I heard that she traded it in, and I was in the market for a car at the time, I went back to the dealership and said, you don't have to do anything to the car. I know the history of it. Let's just, do the transfer tags and all that. And I ended up picking up the Solara. Mazda 3, this was a fun little car. Mazda makes fun little sporty kind of sedans and small cars, and of course now they have SUVs and all kinds of stuff. They also make the Miata, which is a fun little car too. This car was fun to drive. I put tinted windows, added some new wheels on it, and it was a fun little sporty car for a little bit, just to go from point A to point B, and then I got rid of that. That was the back end of it there, and then I got a Camaro. I think this was a 2014 or 2015, I can't quite remember. And that was a Camaro that I had. At the same time, I also got a Mustang. Really love that. That was definitely a 2015 Mustang. Really nice car. Of course, that was the EcoBoost Premium, which had leather, heated and cooled seats. It was just, it was fully loaded, really nice. And that was a lot of fun to have that. At the same time, I had the Mustang. I also had another BMW. This was a 2014 or 2015. Maybe they were both 2015s at the same time. 328 XI. Another great car. I also had a Silverado pickup truck. This was a crew cab Z71. This was a fun truck. Pretty much you could take this thing anywhere, beat the heck out of it, and had a lot of fun driving that. Had a Toyota RAV4, had another Toyota Camry, had an upgraded Toyota RAV4 from the previous RAV4. Then I also had a newer Honda Accord, and this Accord was nice. This was the sport package, really slick looking. I love the way that they did like that coupe, the back end. The styling on it was really nice. The wheels on it were really nice. Got that thing tinted too, and really just looked like it was just a great looking car. Really nice car. So then I had a Honda Santa Fe. So the Santa Fe, got that again fully loaded. It was really nice, really fun to drive. Comfortable car. It didn't have a ton of power, but overall it was decent for what it was. I ended up trading that in for a Toyota Camry SE Nightshade Edition. What's going on? Sorry about that, guys. My camera actually ran out of battery just as I was talking about the car that I had previous, which was the Toyota Camry SE Nightshade Edition. What I wanted to say about that car is that it was pretty cool looking. It had the blacked out wheels, and it also had all the blacked out mirrors and blacked out door handles. Great little car. What I did was I traded that in though, and I got the newest car, which is my BMW X3 M40i, which I am absolutely loving, and I actually did a video about that vehicle, which you can check out with the link here. So that's kind of my journey. What I would love to do is hear from you. Leave comments down below. Tell me how many cars you've had, how long you've been driving. Go through a list if you can, and would love to just play along and see how many other people have had lots of cars and kind of what kind of cars they gravitate towards. So please leave a like, share this video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.